cannot say he did not know this. This is their official statement of beliefs and doctrines. Every church has this. It says, we are a congregation, which, and I'm going to get back to this voodoo Santeria from this, Alex. It says, we are a congregation which is unashamedly black. It says, we are an African people and remain true to our native land, the mother continent, the cradle of civilization. This is amazing. Here is a church dedicated to African tribalism, ritual, the mother continent.
Yeah, it's a front for a voodoo cult, no doubt about that.
There is not one mention of Jesus Christ in the entire, they have a value system. They have 12 things we believe in. Not one thing relates to Jesus Christ. Not
We're going to go there during the break. Texe, tell my producers, and they're doing a great job. Producers, directors, camera guys are doing the whole show. Tell Jaron and Paul during the break the URL. We're going to show it to people when we get back.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John.
By the way, I was talking to Rob out during the break, and he goes, Alex, don't you remember? Tarpley's unauthorized biography has Reverend Wright doing voodoo rituals on Halloween night every year. And I forgot Tarpley said that like a year ago, and that's when I was like, Tarpley, you're nuts. Because even though I know all this stuff, or a lot of it, I still can't believe it. And so Rob's out there flipping through the book, finding the part for me, because I don't remember where it is in the book, to highlight it. We'll show you that. But Texe, during the break, you were telling me to flip to a page of mysterious monuments. What was it, 386, you said?
Yeah, page 386. You know, these people, they mix all of this magic stuff and Santeria, African-American religion, black theology, you know, the black liberation theology. But here's a news item from USA Today and an actual picture from page 386 of my own book, Mysterious Monuments, that you offer folks there. And you know, people say witches in Washington, D.C. doing a ritual to cleanse the White House in preparation for Obama taking over. But look at this one. This is from the USA Today newspaper, and it shows these witches. Now, they do this every year. They're scheduled this September to go back again for their, I think it's their 18th annual prayer vigil. Now, notice it's exactly 33 hours, Alex, because 33 is the highest ritual number of Freemasonry, Scottish Rite Freemasonry, 33. 33 just happens to be the age at which Jesus Christ was slain on the cross. And there are other various satanic reasons that they honor in numerology the number 33. But notice they're doing a circle witchcraft ritual around what else but the obelisk, which is the phallus of the sun god in ancient mystery religion symbology. So they're worshiping the, dare I say it, the sex organ of the sun god. And this is in Washington, D.C. I would not be surprised if Code Pink was there with the witch Starhawk, one of their founders. But, Alex, back to this United Church of Christ, this Trinity United Church of Christ.
Yeah, in fact, we have their website. Here it is, exactly as you said. It's a African spiritual center for voodoo. They just basically admit it right there.
Now, one of the things that this Dr. Jeremiah Wright teaches is black liberation theology. And a textbook that he uses is from Professor James Cone, Harvard University. Now, that's old Barack Obama's alma mater, the same place where, you know, Professor Gates comes from. Now, Professor Cone wrote the primal textbook entitled A Black Theology of Liberation. And on page 62 is an amazing quote, Alex, I'd like to read because it'll explain a lot. It says, the goal of black theology, now remember, this was what was taught all 20 years at this church that Obama went to. The goal of black theology is the destruction of everything white so that blacks can be liberated from alien gods. Now, alien gods would be Jesus Christ. He's an alien god of the white man.
But I'll tell you this, I've discovered in writings, and I'm sure I've never really seen anything that I'm aware of that Texe isn't already aware of, or very rarely so, that actually the white supremacist 100 years ago, the eugenicists said, if we can't ship all the blacks back to Africa, we'll fund a black liberation movement to balkanize them and to make them not want to intermarry with anybody but blacks. And you see today that a lot of blacks don't want black babies adopted out to anybody else. Let them stay in institutions. Don't marry anybody but a black person. The white supremacists actually like that. So this is a very, very slick system for the eugenicists. If they can't kill the blacks off, they'll at least fund and finance the most destructive things of African culture like voodoo and get them to have it part of their culture to only stay with each other. And that's blacks' right if they want to do that. I'm just saying the big foundations funded that. Were you aware of that, Texe?
Yes, I am. In fact, even the Communist Party USA promoted that very idea. Gus Hall, one of the top guys there for 17 years, the president of it, one of his main things was to reach out and bring blacks into the Communist Party, and thus the reason why Frank Marshall Davis, who was Barack Obama's mentor over in Hawaii, he was a member of the Communist Party USA. So there has been this communist socialist African religion thing. By the way, this Trinity United Church of Christ, in their statement of beliefs, they call it the black let's see what it's called. Black value system. Number 8 is very interesting. And I think you've got it right there yourself on the internet. It's the disavowal of the pursuit of middle classedness. In other words, they want to stay blacks. They want to stay victims forever. They say we will not pursue being part of the middle class.
Well, notice they tell white yuppies, homogenize, give up your class, because they see that as the dominant group. And then the other groups, they want them balkanized so they can play us off against each other.
Absolutely. This is the whole thing. They want blacks to stay away from the middle class because, in other words, if we can stay to ourselves, stay a slave race, and then, of course, we'll be warriors against everything white. Their black theology, liberation theology, is the destruction of everything white. Now, why is it that the liberal left-wing press in America, NBC, ABC, CBS News, CNN, why aren't they concerned about such blatant racism on the part of this church?
Well, let me just stop you. I'm reading Tarpley's book here, I read it and remember, but I'm trying to find the part in Barack H. Obama, the unauthorized biography that we have available at Infowars.com, just totally separately. He's a historian backing you up. He just is reporting the facts about voodoo rituals at the church, about the Trilateral Commission funding Jeremiah Wright, and how they control these communities in the big cities through these groups. So just amazing, Texe.
It is. Now, another element that's part of this anti-Christianity is the Freemasonry, the secret society known as Freemasonry. And in fact, I have an ad, I'm looking at it here. The Masons actually had a Masonic inaugural ball for the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, sponsored by the Washington, D.C. Lodge number 7. I think that's interesting. Of course, Barack Obama is reputedly a member of the Prince Hall Masons. That's the Black Masons. And it's interesting here again, the Masonic Lodge has purposely created a segregated black Masonic group called the Prince Hall Masons. And every well-known black leader is a member of it. Reverend Al Sharpton. Yep, he's a Mason. Jesse Jackson. You better believe it. He is a Mason. What's the guy the head of the NAACP, Andrew Young? He's a Mason, a former head. So all of the top, from Jesse Jackson to Barack Obama, they're all high-level Masons. In fact, even Louis Farrakhan of the Black Muslims. He is also a 33rd degree Prince Hall Mason. So the Masonic thing, and of course they literally worship this ancient mystery religion god. His name is Jabulan. So you see where everything comes together with these pagan mystery religion, whether it's Code Pink, whether it's Trinity United Church of Christ that Obama went to, whether it's the Freemasons, whether it's the Santeria religion of Michelle Obama's mother, the 72-year-old Marion Robinson.
And notice, Texe, I want you to finish that key point, but they always want to keep it secret. The devil's biggest trick is denying he exists. They always want to deny they're sacrificing people. When every one of these cults did this, whether it was the Aztecs or Northern Europeans or Central Asian cults or African cults, they all sacrificed people.